Good afternoon. My name is Father Rayappa. I'm here in the village called Kattupadi near Vello, South India. Today I'm going to talk about Misericordiae Vultus. Pope Francis is writing on the year of mercy 2016. Actually, Misericordiae Vultus means face of mercy. Vultus means face. Misericordiae, mercy or compassion. So, year of mercy, of face of mercy. So, God's face is the reflection of mercy. Even Jesus' face is the reflection of mercy. Trinity, the three persons and one God we celebrate in Christianity, is the reflection on mercy. So anyway, before this encyclical in 1980, Saint Pope John Paul II, he wrote an encyclical called Divus in Misericordiae. Divus means rich, rich. In Misericordia means in mercy, rich in mercy. So he talks about God who is rich in mercy. It was promulgated on the 30th November 1980. Actually, Divus in Misericordiae was the second encyclical written by Pope John Paul II in 1980. Before that, he wrote Redemptor Hominis, which was discussing about the human existence and also the human creation as image of God, and he committed sin and God came, the Redeemer, and then he redeemed humans and salvation history, all these topics, and also the dignity of man. John Paul II discusses very beautifully in Redemptor Hominis. But in Divus Misericordiae, he discusses about the merciful God. The main theme, the best example he gives is the prodigal son from Matthew chapter 15. The prodigal son, how God the Father is waiting for the son, the prodigal son, even though he has squandered his property and he lost everything. And at last God is welcoming with mercy and compassion. So that is the main theme of Divus Misericordiae. And also there was a reverend sister called Faustina Kowalska, one was born in 1905 and she died in 1938. And she started a devotion to Jesus Christ called Divine Mercy. Divine Mercy. So Pope John Paul II approves of it in 2000. In the year 2000, he starts the Divine Mercy Sunday, the devotion, and it is very prevalent around the world. And Pope John Paul II expressed, in 2005 he died, he expressed that when he was writing Divus in Misericordiae, he was very close spiritually with the sister Faustina Kowalska. So this paragraph discusses about the mercy of God. And today, in Divus Misericordiae, Pope John Paul II says that today's society is compassion deficit or mercy deficit, and we lack the sentiment of mercy. And actually, when you don't find mercy, you don't value mercy, you end up in dominating others, especially dominating the earth. That is what he is writing in Divus Misericordiae. He quotes Genesis 1:28, the dominion. So because there is no mercy, you end up in dominion. It's another extreme. You do not only dominate the earth and its resources and animals and plants, birds of the air and everything, as the Bible says, you take literally, but you also dominate humans, capitalism. high growth economy, rich and poor, we dominate humans. At last you dominate yourself. Greed, violence, selfishness. At last it goes against you. Your own personality is destroyed. Your own dignity is at stake. So it's a beautifully written document, Divus in Misericordiae, rich in mercy. God is rich in mercy, and so are we. We are the image of God. We can say that we are the clone of God, the same DNA, as St. Paul used to say, the same Spirit of God is poured into our hearts. So the same DNA. So we are image of God. So if you are image of God, you are capable of mercy and compassion. So that is what we celebrate this year, 2016. Pope Francis has declared this year as Year of Mercy. So the Misericordiae Vultus, I'm going to read for you article, the paragraph number 11. Pope Francis writes as follows: let us not forget the great teaching offered by Saint John Paul II in his second encyclical Divus in Misericordiae, which at the time came unexpectedly. It seemed catching many by surprise. There are two passages in particular to which I would like to draw attention. First, St. John Paul II highlighted the fact that we had forgotten the theme of mercy in today's cultural milieu. The present day mentality, more perhaps than that of people in the past, seems opposed to a God of mercy, and in fact tends to exclude from life and to remove from the human heart the very idea of mercy. The word and the concept of mercy seem to cause uneasiness in man, who, thanks to the enormous development of science and technology, never before known in history, has become the master of the earth and has subdued and dominated it. Genesis chapter 1:28. This dominion over the earth, sometimes understood in a one-sided and superficial way, seems to have no room for mercy. And this is why, in the situation of the church and the world today, many individuals and groups, guided by a lively sense of faith, are turning, I would say almost spontaneously, to the mercy of God. Furthermore, St. John Paul II pushed for a more urgent proclamation and witness to mercy in the contemporary world. It is dictated by love for man, for all that is human, and which, according to the intuitions of many of our contemporaries, is threatened by an immense danger. The mystery of Christ obliges me to proclaim mercy as God's merciful love, revealed in that same mystery of Christ. It likewise obliges me to have recourse to that mercy and to beg for it at this difficult, critical phase of the history of the Church and of the world. This teaching is more pertinent than ever and deserves to be taken up once again in this holy year. Let us listen to his words once more. The Church lives an authentic life when she professes and proclaims mercy, the most stupendous attribute of the Creator and of the Redeemer, and when she brings people close to the sources of the Saviour's mercy, of which she is the trustee and dispenser. That is what Saint Pope John Paul II wrote in 1980 about God's mercy. And he states that church is on the right path when she proclaims mercy. That's it. From the beginning, church path was on the mercy, but in the middle, of course, we strayed and we became stagless. We lost way in the Middle Ages. Most of the centuries we were stagless. Thank to Pope Francis. Now we have found our direction. Our direction nothing but the path of mercy. We started path of mercy and we are going to end up in the path of mercy. The whole creation started in the mercy of God. The whole creation is the outcome of the mercy of God. The whole salvation history, the whole redemption, and even the parousia, and everything is going to happen in the context of mercy and compassion. And please, Misericordiae Vultus, article number 11, please read, and I wish you all a happy year of mercy. And thank you, and God bless.